It is both an honor and a solemn responsibility to express my views on a very profound and timely theme of making Africa's capital work for Africa's development. The theme comes at the critical time when Africa is already grappling with challenges on its capital, compromising of human, natural, financial, and commercial capital. The challenges have been exacerbated by the recent developments of shift in global trade policies and the abrupt stoppage of foreign aid. Lesotho, like many African nations, is blessed with natural endowments. Our high-quality diamonds and abundant water resources support our economy and generate revenue through exports and royalties. These blessings, while significant, are finite. We must resist the allure of dependency. The so-called resource curse and the Dutch disease are real threats when economies become fixated on extraction rather than innovation. Beyond natural resources, Lesotho recognizes the transformative potential of its renewable energy landscape, particularly in hydropower and wind energy. Harnessing this potential is not only a national imperative but also a regional opportunity. As Africa advances towards a green economy, Lesotho is positioned to contribute meaningfully to regional energy security and climate-friendly development. Natural capital must be well managed with transparency and foresight so that it serves as a springboard, not a substitute for sustainable growth. Revenues from our resources should fund institution building, innovation, ecosystems, and human capital development. Africa's greatest asset is not only buried in the soil or flowing through its rivers. It is in its young population, which represents untapped human capital capable of driving the next wave of innovation and productivity. For Lesotho, investing in skills development, particularly through technical vocational education and training, TVET, is essential. Our goal is to close the skills mismatch and equip young people with tools to participate in and shape modern economies. In addition, human capital entails the health and dignity of women and mothers. We must ensure access to quality maternal health care, well-functioning antenatal networks, and policies that promote family well-being. It remains our obligation to ensure that every child deserves to be born into a caring, stable, and healthy environment. This, of course, requires job creation to provide access to incomes, which is essential in stabilizing families. We must reform our health systems to value human life. Despite our many assets, Africa's capital, both human and natural, has not fully translated into its economic equivalent. This is in part due to low value-added production, limited economic diversification, and insufficient investment in human capital. In Lesotho's case, we are taking deliberate steps to modernize education and health systems, strengthen our institutions, and build an economy fit for future challenges. We must also acknowledge external constraints. Illicit financial flows driven by transfer pricing, profit shifting, and tax avoidance by multinational corporations drain our continent's resources. Coupled with a global financial architecture that remains unfavorable to African development priorities, these factors blunt the potential impact of our capital. Lesotho supports the call for a reformed financial architecture. Regional integration, especially through frameworks like the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, offers opportunities to scale up production, build competitive value chains, and diversify our economies. As a member of SACU and participant in AFCFTA, Lesotho sees these frameworks as catalysts for industrialization and job creation. The country is also committed to harnessing the power of digital transformation to accelerate inclusive growth. Digital technologies offer unprecedented opportunities for financial inclusion, e-governance, and improved service delivery, particularly for marginalized populations. These innovations can support agriculture, health, and education, laying the foundation for an agile and connected economy. Africa must prioritize climate resilience. Lesotho is highly vulnerable to climate-induced shocks, including droughts and food insecurity. We're investing in climate-resilient infrastructure, sustainable land management, and disaster preparedness. But we cannot do this alone. We join the global call for equitable access to climate financing, tailored to the realities of least developed countries. In conclusion, making Africa's capital work for its development demands bold reforms, smart investment, and strong partnerships. Lesotho stands ready to play its part by unlocking the potential of its people, leveraging its natural and renewable resources, and embracing innovation for a prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable Africa. Finally, let me speak to the global context. Africa cannot thrive in isolation. Our continent needs an international trade system that is open, rules-based, and inclusive. We caution against this rise of fragmentation, protectionist trade blocs that risk reversing decades of global economic progress. Lesotho, whose exports have recently been impacted by shifting global trade dynamics, appeals for a trade ecosystem where fairness and transparency prevail and where small economies are not sidelined. I thank you.